Hi everyone, welcome. It's Lonnie at Grace Blossoms for You, and today I want to make some journal toppers. And I have a free printable on my Ko-fi page to celebrate 500 subscribers, and I want to give these printables to you. This is a sheet of labels, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to use some of them today on my toppers. And these are fun, and you can really use your creativity with them. So what I've started with is cardboard that I've taken most of one side off of. And then, here, I'll show you what we're making. I've made a few samples. Well, they're not samples. I'm going to be using them on the fabric journals that I made. So basically they're all the same, and yet they're all different. They all have layers of paper, and there's some lace in there, and I use snaps because I have so many of them. I wanted to start using them up. So what I also took was some jelly print paper, and I tried to match the snap to one of the colors that was in the paper, because I started like with a neutral theme here. So anyways, that's what we're making. So if you want to see how I did that, stick around. And thanks for subscribing, and thanks for joining me today. So I hope you're doing well. I'm just going to cut this down to a more manageable size for myself. Again, excuse my voice. I'm still getting over this silly cold. Alright, so what I did was I basically started with craft colored packing paper, and I want my cluster to roughly fit on my cardboard piece, and so I will just tear it down. I want some of it, the back, to show, and then I will ink around all the things that I plan to use. So I started with inking the cardboard itself. And I found some music paper. I'm using hem samples or pieces. And so I'm basically just building up a cluster. Okay, so I'm going to ink the rest of that up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I wanted to do a bit of a mass bake today. And another thing too, you could make these smaller and just use them as clusters in your journal. Wouldn't have to be a topper necessarily, but I thought, why not go ahead and make a larger cluster. The hardest part about these is deciding what it is that you want to put on the layers. So for myself, just playing around with it, I have, like I said, the cardboard, then I put the packing paper, some music sheet on the one side, and then some book page on the other side, so that they're a little bit spread around. Meanwhile, keeping some of the background visible. Alright, so then my last paper, background is my jelly plate print. And so what I do roughly is, so I loosely just put these together, especially where they overlap, and something like that. All right, then I picked the label. For this one, I picked Loved and Blessed. So I'm going to put that closer to, wherever you want it. Doesn't really matter. I was putting them at the bottom so that the snap would, because I want them to kind of overlap. Like with this one, you see the snap is kind of attached to the label. So that's what I'd like to do. But then when you go to attach the background to the cardboard, it's a little bit bumpy there. But that's okay, because I'm putting, it doesn't matter. With the hot glue, it's going to, and the corrugated cardboard, it's going to be somewhat lumpy anyways. So, all right, so I'm just going to attach the label a little as well. So I've got some words here that I want to show. So I'm going to actually put the snap a little further in. And sometimes my snaps don't match, they coordinate. Like this wouldn't look like it would go together, but it's picking up some of the color that's in there. So, all right, and if you don't have snaps, no worries. You can use anything else you like. Even buttons or beads or eyelets or brads, anything at all. This is just what I wanted to do today. So then I need my tool, and hopefully I know how to, or I remember how to work it. Okay, so like that. And then I will just hot glue this to my cardboard. And I left a little space so that I could put some lace in the back there. So I'm just gonna put some glue. I'm putting it under the papers so that it doesn't show through too much. Like that. And then whatever's not fully glued down yet, I'll just add a little bit of glue for the layers there so that they're all down. I'll use the hot glue if there's like a texture that's a little harder to adhere to. Okay, so that's one. And let's do another. Okay, so my background is the corrugated cardboard. I've got some craft colored packing paper. I've got some, I didn't get to ink everything yet. And so I also have some word, like book page. Tried to get everything ready, but I got ahead of myself. And anyways, so there's that, and then And again, you wouldn't have to use jelly plate paper. You could use whatever other paper you like. Something that, you know, roughly has some color on it. What I'm going for here is basically contrast. So here I've got the texture. I know this is the same color, but it's different texture. Then I've got these two. They both have words on them, but they're different papers. And so that will work. And then I want that roughly in the middle. Wouldn't have to be, but could also do, you know, play around with it and see where you like the placement of things. So something like that. And then because these are going to, I mean, these could be inside of the journal clusters as well. So I'm not too concerned about the label that I'm putting on. I have been focusing on the cover, so just whatever I think will be good. Like this one's pretty standard. I guess it shouldn't be too offensive. God is good, so even if it ends up being a cluster in a non-youth group journal, it would still be hopefully something that people would agree with. And if not, it doesn't really bother me. I do these for the Lord. I don't necessarily do them for people, so if you know what I mean. Okay, so that will go nicely. I need the bottom. Alright, so then again, just gluing that all in roughly where I want it. Forgot to ink this. So yeah, it's a little bit of a formula, but I think that helps sometimes when you're stuck and you want to make something. And I think if you're making a lot of something, it helps to make them sort of similar. And again, I do like to have the snap kind of coming off the label so it looks a little more cohesive. I kind of gave up on these snaps for a bit because I was wrecking a bunch of them, and I just came to the decision that I needed to practice. And I figured what better way to practice than to make a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so there's that, and then there's that, and then I just need to attach those. And two, you can push down the textured part into the corrugated cardboard so that it so that it's a little flatter. And I should have another piece of lace hanging about. There we go. So I decided to stick rather with the neutral color scheme, but obviously you're free to choose whatever colors. I like the neutrals because that gives opportunity to have something else pop later. like the snaps here, they kind of pop a little bit. And they didn't leave enough room there very well. Okay, it's a little crooked, but that's still fine. Alright, so then that's one is done. And if you get it and you want to move on, by all means fast forward. And I will show you how I completed it at the end here. So there's that piece. Yeah, so I had 6 journals that I wanted to work on. Okay, so I went ahead and I just inked everything and loosely put things in the piles so that I could speed this up a bit. And I think working ahead really is the key to this. So making it something you can duplicate roughly, and then just going ahead and getting all your pieces together. And then just picking your label, should you choose to use one. And these are all, there's no duplicate labels on this sheet. They're all individual. They're all different. So there's plenty of things to choose from. And so I hope you enjoy using those. Obviously use them as you wish. Doesn't have to be in journal toppers. I found I was always struggling to find a journal topper at the last minute, and so I just decided that it was time to mass make some so that I wouldn't always be struggling to find. So yeah, hope you find this helpful. Let me know your favorite way to do a journal topper if you would like to share. Alright, so loosely putting that. I'm just putting it on here, not attaching it just yet. And then just so that I can see where things are going to be placed. Okay, and then let's try some red there. Wrong red. These snaps don't really help for color choices because they're kind of different colors. But they were cheap and there was lots of them. Pick that for that one. And maybe a green. That will work. Okay. Again, again, I'm back to the snap here. And see, once you get a bunch of these together, you can just kind of get them roughly situated and then do like assembly style. I found watching Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah do her assembly line mask makes has really brought out that part in me that likes to do the same. So it's efficient for all the journals that I want to complete. So I hope you're doing well. Are you getting ready for Christmas? Not much to get ready over here, but enjoying, I don't know, without participating, you just kind of watch the hustle and bustle of everyone else, and it's a little comical, the things people panic about. All is bright, all is calm. I pray everything is calm. So much turmoil going on in the world. Calm is nice. All right. Yeah, it makes a sound. I don't know if I can oil that. Like I said, you could use anything. You don't have to use snaps. I just thought I would use them because I have so many, and a good way to start using them up. All right, how about I kind of put the lace down first. Yeah, I'll be like, why didn't you do that in the first place? I don't know. Just thought of it. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if you like mask makes, if you want to see more. I don't know. Tell me what you want to see from this channel. I'm open to a new project. So, all right. So there they are, and I like them. I don't know about you, but they're not also finished yet. There's more that we can do. This is the first one I decided to do, and here is the main cluster. And you can also back this. I've backed this with a large piece of lace and a large piece of burlap. So I was thinking I might do the other ones in the same manner. Here's one with some pink on it. And then it's just a matter of choosing which one looks the greatest. I was going to do one with a purple, and I betcha I did not. However, I have one with yellow. And yellow brings out the yellow in the flowers in the back there. Okay, so that could actually work by itself. but if you didn't want lace, you could use tulle. I'm gonna cut some things and I'll be right back. So I've been playing around with some of the things that I've found in my stash and just using different things. The lace I wanted to use, because this one has a particularly white background, doesn't really work for me, so I found some white tulle, and I think I could put that in the very back here, like so, and then put the cluster like so. And so there's, yeah, so just some more layers and just building that up and playing around with it until you like it enough to commit to gluing it down. I kind of don't mind if it's off-centered somewhat. Just depends on how I'm feeling at the time. So I will put that right about there. And too, I was thinking you could kind of make that little puckered, yeah, pucker that up a little bit. Put just a dab of glue down and then put that pucker, okay, without getting my finger all stuck. I'll have to see if that was enough of a pucker there. Yeah, I don't know. I have that spatula thing, silicone, but my finger's quicker. My finger is always ready to jump in. All right, so I've got the pucker going there. So then I'm just gonna, whoops, make sure. I probably should have put the glue on here. All right, so that pucker didn't really carry through to the end, but I've got glue everywhere. All right, so then I'm just gonna commit to putting more of the glue on here. And down it goes. There, still putting. And then too, you could still add more stuff. Like I could put some charms on here or add like a bulb pin of beads or something else to make it, you know, a little more dangly or a little more interesting. However you want to do that. Okay, so that's one. Then for this one, I had some peach tulle that I thought looked good. So I'm just going to assume that it's going to go through it to the other side. And then my burlap. Somehow it's not. I even use that trick to glue your new glue stick to the old one so that it would feed better. But it's actually fighting me and trying to push it back out. Yeah, so far that hack isn't working very well for me. glue string everywhere. And you can always go back in and glue it down some more where it needs it. Assuming your glue gun works. Yeah, and then for a lot of these I just have to put the insides in. See, that's where it's glued together. I'm going to try it this way. See if it likes that better. What did oh, for this one, I found some material, which I like, which I actually ran through the jelly plate. And I'm going to do that. I don't know, do I still want some more lace? I was thinking just, you know, lace over lace. It's almost like it's too wide. Yeah, something like that. And there we go. So we did a few of them. I'm going to leave a couple of them without toppers for now, just in case I want to add something different. So there you go. That's what we have for you today. And let me know if you like that. And thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.